Warning, the shit that you're about to see on this channel, performed by a true hooligan. If you're not at all a hooligan or part of the hooligan nation, you might want to turn away now. Thank you very much and subscribe.
Oh my god, that sounded just ugly. That was awful. Oh my god. So today we're going to talk about a little something that a lot of people get mixed up with. So we're going to talk about the differences between getting a tuner put on your bike and doing an ECU remap or an ECU flash, whichever one you want to call it. Technically you're not wrong. If you flash your ECU, you're technically remapping it. Oh yeah, buddy! Just telling you right now, I am absolutely in love with this exhaust and header setup that I have on my bike. I am so fucking happy that I did it. So we're gonna talk about ECU flashes and, you know, what you get with the ECU flash versus getting like Pizzazz tuner or Power Commander, any of the Power Commander series. Like, and there's a lot of stuff that you get with those too. Like, you know, your bikes, most of the newer bikes come with O2 sensors on it. So you can get auto tuners put on those, where pretty much what it does is it has its own O2 port, and what it does is it sniffs the exhaust pretty much to see if it needs to add more gas or less gas or more air or less air to it. The auto tuners work pretty freaking amazing, to be honest, but you know, there's a lot of things that you just don't get with an ECU remap. So let's start off. Let's start with just getting a tuner put on your bike. So getting a tuner put on your bike allows you to do like a couple of things. So you get the tuner. The tuner is just gonna let you control air fuel ratio and timing, pretty much. That is what you're gonna get when you get a tuner put on your bike. Now there are other things that you get too. Again, like the Power Commander Pizzazz. There's a couple other companies out there too that have their own type of tuners and stuff like that. But those are the two I recommend. I love the Pizzazz. You can get their all-in-one like package that they have. It comes with a quick shifter. It comes with a mapping switch. It comes with a traction control switch too. Comes with an auto blipper. It just allows you to shift clutchless. Now, with my bike, I have a blipper on it, so it allows me to do clutchless downshifting and automatically spikes the RPM. Like that right there, no clutch, see? But that's it really. That's what you get versus if you do an ECU flash. Now, if you can control your ECU flash and you get somebody to do it, or you really know what you're doing, you're talking about the ECU. You're reworking the whole ECU. So with that, you can control all that stuff there that I just talked about, minus the quick shifter if you don't have one. But like with my bike, if I got my BMW ECU flash, I can control the timing of the quick shifter. I can control launch control and what RPM it sets at. I can control all the different modes and what type of power it gets. Plus the other thing a lot of people don't know that you don't get with the ECU. Now, if you have a bike, I think it's from 2005 and greater. So, a bike from 2005 and greater, you have what's known as pretty much, it's like ride-by-wire throttle. So what happens is what that is, you might be able to give your bike the whole beans, you know? You know, you're Street Rossi and you're a drag master and you're street pro and you're giving your bike the full beans while you're roll racing. Well, the whole time, there's what's known as a secondary rod, or the actual throttle brain is what we'll call it for this instance. So the throttle brain sits here and says, you think you're Street Rossi, but you're really a novice. So what it does is it goes, and as you give it more and more beans, the higher in the RPM it goes, those baffles actually start to close down. So, and there's a lot of things that we've seen too, like just by doing ECU remapping and reflashes, especially on like, if you go like Kawasaki, for example, like that's the one that I've looked at and have seen a lot of, is with the Kawasaki's. You know, you could be in 4th gear, giving it the full beans through the rev range, and it'll stay open until you get to 8 grand, and then it'll go like 70, 50, 60%, and then it'll actually be opened down to 20% in full throttle. Same thing whenever you get in 6th gear, you might be able to do the full beans and everything like that, but you can do the full beans hitting 189, actually only having the throttle open to 30%. So you can disable that, so that way whenever you give your bike the full throttle, it actually, you know, it opens up and it's the full throttle, it's the full beans, you know? So that's why, you know, you pay $500 for a tuner for your bike, but you're paying like $700, $800, sometimes even $1,000, if not more, for an ECU flash. Because, you know, with my bike, when I get it flashed, I'm actually setting it so that way the thermostat kicks on, so the coolant comes on and kicks it faster. The reason why is for its application right now is it's being used on the track, or it's being used on the street, not the track. So I can keep this bike cooler, and if it's sitting in traffic, I want the thermostat to open up a lot faster. If there's no one over here, we might go fast. I don't know what I did! But you know, that was just a small little power wheelie for you right there. Threw some little power on you. But even then, my bike's not flashed, so I wasn't getting the full air chill out of the full beans, the full But with that too, like, I mean, other things, you can control traction control setting on this. You can do some more stuff with the suspension on it too. A lot of the stuff, there's like a lot of stuff that's abled on this bike. Like if I wanted to, all the downshift, like all the popping, like that sound right there, I can disable it if I wanted to. But right now, it doesn't bother me. Oh, I think this Beamer wants to race. I think the Beamer wants to race. Back to what we were talking about here with the ECU flash. That's what you can do with it. So, you know, next time you're wondering if I should buy a tuner or go ahead and spend the money to get the ECU flash, go ahead and get it. There's a lot of stuff that's enabled on your bike just because of emissions that especially if you're in a state that doesn't require your bike to be inspected. There's a lot of that shit that you can get that's disabled. There's one huge thing, which there's a hose essentially that pulls like exhaust gas and throws it into your airbox. That's on a lot of bikes that you hear that are backfiring, like this BMW. That's essentially what it is. So something like that, they do that because whenever you have a cat on your bike, you want your cat to heat up to burn off all that soot and stuff that's in there. So it makes your cat and your exhaust run extra hot. And if you have a full exhaust system, you actually don't need that. Like, there's no cat there. Like, everything is being really, it's not really, but everything that you need is essentially being already done. And there's really no point in having that. Hey, what's up, officer? You know, I was just driving normal, you know? But a lot of that stuff, I mean, you don't need it. Especially if you're going to track and you want to just make a dedicated track bike. The bikes I suggest, if you want to go big and ballsy and have it all, is you can go with a Yamaha R1. You can go with the old series that they used to do, like the 09. That was the one that I raced. I love that bike to death, and you know, it was just raw. I had a Power Commander and I also had an ECU flush. Now the reason why I had a Power Commander is because I wanted to throw my own style of mapping on it, so that way whenever I could use it at the track, it was nice. But I ran it without fans, so I ran it with coolant in it. I had it set up so that way, you know, whenever it got really hot, the coolant would kick on hard and kick on fast, and it'd cool the bike down, which was very, very, very rarely did my bike exceed 200 degrees while I was tracking it. Because, I mean, you're on a track, you're not really stopping a lot. But, you know, I could change the actual throttle plates, how far they opened, when they fully open. There's just, I mean, you can get so detailed with it. But, you know, I'm gonna end it right here for all y'all motherfuckers out there in the universe. If you are the hooligan, the full hooligan, and nothing but the hooligan, I need you to like my shit. Don't go liking anybody else's shit. Subscribe, like, comment, share. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just do it, motherfucker. I love you all. I'm gonna take this turn. Peace the fuck out, bitches.